Hi there, today I'm showing you a little mini album I'm going to make using the wonderful Stamperia Alice papers and trinkets. This is going to be a new one for me because I'm going to make the project live. I haven't really planned it in detail other than gathering together some of the materials I'm going to be using, but knowing me, you'll hear me rummaging around in my desks and drawers looking for the materials that I think would go well as we go along. So today's video is for Country View Crafts, and you can find them at countryviewcrafts.co.uk. It's an Aladdin's cave of crafting. You can get almost anything and everything there, and Susan has super fast delivery and it's free delivery also. But at the moment they've got the wonderful range of Stamperia papers, and those of you that know me know how much I love Alice in Wonderland, so obviously as soon as I saw these I snapped them up because they are absolutely beautiful, but I'll go into that in a bit more detail. So some of the things that I'm going to be using to create my project today, I've got the Eileen Hull pocket journal notebook, and this is going to be what I use to create my album. I'm hoping you can get a good picture there. I'm also using the Sizzix matte board. So this comes in two different sizes, and this is sheet of 6, and it's the same size as the actual cutting pads for the XL dies, and this is really good, and you'll see just how thick and sturdy this is, but especially when you're creating with some of the dies like the Eileen Hull ones that need a bit more structure to them. I find this absolutely brilliant, and what's even better is that on one side it's white, well both sides are white. I'll take one out to show you. I'm hoping you can actually see what I'm doing here. Okay, so both sides are white, but it's really decent matte board, and as I found, just what you need to create these pocket journals. Okay, as well as that I have some various ribbons from my stash. As I said, I'm not really entirely sure exactly what I'm going to be doing other than having a faint idea, so I've just collected up a few bits and bobs of various different materials as well. I have the wonderful sisal in 3 different materials, which I'll probably use little bits of this. Little bits go quite a long way. Okay. I have various papers that I'm going to use as my inserts. At the moment they're just all mixed and matched, but I thought I'd cut these and just fold them in advance. Haven't got them in any particular order at the minute, but I just thought you wouldn't want to see me cutting too much whilst I'm filming. So there's those. I also have a bowl of lots of little trinkets. So there's some just baseboards, there's some stickers, and I've got some various types of mini envelopes in here. I've got some snip art and doilies and lots of little embellishments that I thought might go quite well with my Alice project. So there. And that takes me on to the actual Alice range. Now that you can buy, this is just a fraction of what you can get actually, but I can't tell you just how beautiful it is. I love Stamperia paper anyway, and so when they brought out the Alice in Wonderland collection, I could not believe it, to be honest. But some of the stuff they have, I've got this wonderful Alice 2020 calendar, and the papers in here are, they're just beautiful, and it's almost a shame to use it, but I say that about all my beautiful papers. But each month comes with obviously a calendar and a really beautiful image from Alice in Wonderland. And what's brilliant about this is that at the end of it I'm able to cut them up and hopefully use them in my artwork. Absolutely stunning. This is the calendar. There are also various notebooks, and I've got 2 of the types here. So I've got a small mini notebook with the white rabbit on it, and just adorable, just for little little notes. I'm actually using this for my fresco paints at the moment, So the plan is I'm going to just make it a little sample book with tiny dabs of paint so that I can use it as reference a little bit quicker. And then there are these larger books as well. How beautiful are they? The covers are really thick as well, really good quality, and the paper inside, just lovely. And you can use it for whatever you want. I've not used this one for anything yet. I'm just waiting for the right project to come up, I guess. I've then got some rice paper. So I haven't actually taken this out. I'm almost scared of ruining it. But these images of the teapots are beautiful, and they're really lovely colours, and they match some of the papers in the paper pack. You can also get these wonderful cutouts, and they're really good size as well, and you can even cut bits out of them. I just love the way that it's completely flat, but it looks like it's all been decoupaged up. And again, really pretty, beautiful images. I haven't had the hearts cut into this one yet, but you never know, today might be the day. And then on the reverse of it, just like little journaling cards where you can write what you want on there. The Alice paper itself comes in 2 packs. So the 12 by 12 and the 8 by 8. These are beautiful. Of course, I had to have both sizes, and thankfully Susan at Country View Crafts sell them in both sizes as well. I have opened this. Let me show you again what it's like. My wrist is still recovering from a fracture, so I still don't have the power in my right wrist and the strength that I used to have. But I'll show you this. These are beautiful. And even the covers on each side of the cover is a beautiful paper that you can use. So I'm just going to show you these papers. And you can use them for art journaling, you can use them for scrapbooking, you can use them for card making. And some of these, if you absolutely wanted to, I'm sure just in a frame would be absolutely beautiful as well. So I'm hoping you can see this. So here's the journaling cards, and obviously I showed you the large 12 by 12 sheet of that as well. Aren't they beautiful? I love these backgrounds as well, and I love that part of it almost looks distressed. And all of the colours go so beautifully together. And there are some images that you can just cut out and use. We'll see how or if I choose to use these as I go along. I'm just going through them for you. There's the paper version of that beautiful rice paper. More tea related ones. What I really like about these as well is there's script in some of the pages, and for me that's just beautiful. It just gives you the opportunity. First, it breaks up so it's not too image based, but it just gives you that opportunity to build upon it as well. And I very often use scraps of paper beneath my images as well, so this almost does the job for me. Look at these cute little cards, so sweet. And then there's the back cover. So Stamperia are excellent at making the most of every bit of paper they get, every surface. So totally beautiful pack paper. And then the 12 by 12 is exactly the same, just on a larger scale. So I won't go through that one. I've actually already started cutting into this one to prepare for today. So I'll pop those to one side. And then new for this year are the new Alice die cuts. Now, I wasn't sure what to expect for these. The price mark was at Country View Crafts is really cheap. They were $3.99 a pack, I think it was. And it said die cut, so I just assumed I might get a pack of fairly thin images, or even more like a normal die cut that I'd cut through my own scissors machine. So I really wasn't sure, and I've purposely not opened this pack. I thought I'd open it while I'm doing the video, because when it arrived I couldn't believe just how much is in here, and how thick each of the die cuts are. Absolutely beautiful. So let's open it. I've been really looking forward to this bit, and let's see what's inside. I try not to make too much of a mess. Oh, and I don't know if you can see, these really are quite thick. So it's not just normal craft paper. It's much thicker. It's more like baseboard than just a normal paper die cut. But by the looks of it, the images are as beautiful and as high quality as the papers are as well. So we've got lots of different types of images, little embellishments, lots of various images. I think the flowers are just beautiful as well, the colour of them. Some little tags by the looks of it. And then your main images as well, little words. Oh, this is quite an exciting pack actually. I'm just going to take them out. So again, tags, playing cards. Oh, how cute are they? Look at that. Oh, I don't know if you can see, this has actually got some sort of crackle. Maybe I'll see if I can lift it up a bit more. That's absolutely beautiful. How cute. Oh, and look at the cat. The Cheshire cat, how pretty. Some bigger playing cards. Some more images. Oh goodness, yes, these are absolutely worth every penny. Beautiful, beautiful set. And actually this makes me even more surprised at the price point. So if you haven't seen them yet, I'd be running across to Country View Crafts to get them, most definitely. And there's a set for the Forest Stamperia collection as well. And after seeing these, I think I'll definitely be ordering that collection. Because I'm sure you'll actually be able to use some of these with the Alice papers as well. Absolutely beautiful. Right, I will put these aside while I'm crafting. I'm sure they'll be out of the bag lots as I decide what I want to do and what I want to use. But let's see if I can tidy these up. You don't need to spend your hard-earned time watching me clear away, but here we go. So in advance of today, what I decided to do was just prepare a few bits to hopefully make the video more enjoyable for you. So that started with me putting together the actual journal, the Eileen Hole journal. So I showed you the Sizzix die, and all I've done is I die cut the shape, and I've glued that together. So you can see, I don't know if you can see there, there's a seam. I then just painted around the edges in black. I didn't do the whole thing, didn't think there was any need to, purely because I'm going to be covering this with paper, with some of those beautiful papers. So I just thought I'd colour, just paint around the edge, save myself a little bit of time, as well as obviously paint. I'm just going to see if I can get this a bit lower now. There we go, and so that you can see what I'm doing a bit better and a bit closer. Okay. I've also created the strings for my insert. Now I don't know, I'm sure there's absolutely a right way of doing this. Now as it is, mine are going to be covered with some papers. Sometimes I've left them blank and I've just made sure this is neat. This is fairly neat for me. If I wasn't covering this bit, I would have done something to cover up the hole, but I don't need to worry about that today. But my ribbon closures are there ready to use. So there's my little basis, my mini album. You can see just how sturdy that chipboard is. It's really good quality. It's thick. It's lovely to use. So that's that. So I guess where we need to start is by decorating the front. And I'd already thought about this beforehand, and I've prepared some papers. It was the first time I'd actually cut into my Alice papers, and I wasn't sure what to use, and they really are so beautiful. I was spoilt for choice. What I decided to do was to keep the the actual base of my album quite plain, and then I could build it up. Again, not sure how yet, but we'll come to that as we go. So all I've done, I've got some inserts for in here. Obviously I won't be covering the inside spine, so I've just measured those up, not precise. And then I've got the same for here as well. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so let's get these glued, I think. Let's get this started. If I go quiet, I apologise. As I said, I don't normally craft whilst videoing, so this is entirely new for me, and I might just forget you're there. Hopefully not, but you never know. If I go quiet, I apologise. Okay, so let's get these stuck in. I'm using Cosmic Shimmer glue. It's always my glue of choice, it's always my favourite glue, and it just sticks really, really quickly, and it adheres really, really well as well. So lovely. And what I have done is just edge around with walnut stain distressing as well. So as you can see, the paper I've used was actually the back of the paper pad as well. And I do love that. I don't often see companies doing that. You normally get the front page and the back page, which are quite blank, and then all the pattern pages that you can use are in between that. But no, on this occasion Stamperia have done really, really well, and they are very good with that sort of thing. Be interesting to know if any of you have had experience with Stamperia papers. What papers have you gone for? I mean, the vast collection available at Country View Crafts is phenomenal, and they're all absolutely beautiful papers. As well as these, I'm lucky enough to have purchased the new SeaWorld papers, and I can't wait to be creating with those as well. So I'm just trying to think which one. I'm pretty sure that was my... Ah, there we go. I knew I had some sort of pattern to it, but I couldn't quite tell what. So I'm going to start by getting the middle, the spiny bit down. I think half the problem with these Stamperia papers, they're so beautiful on both sides. So normally you see pattern paper and you think, oh, I really like that side, I don't like that side as much. So you know exactly what side you're going to use. But I genuinely get stuck with these because they are so, so lovely, and both sides are very usable. Okay, I'm going to give that a bit of a press just because those elastic bits are there as well. Okay. I've done the same with these. I've just inked around them using walnut stain distressing. So it's leaving just a tiny bit of the black outline, which is absolutely fine by me. I actually thought I cut it a bit shorter as well, but obviously not, but I'm not worried about that right now. It's a bit of a press. And I think what I'll do is, if we start by decorating the cover in its entirety, we can then turn ourselves to the actual inside of the pages, albeit, as I've already said, I've die cut some ready, trimmed some to fit. There you go. How beautiful is that? So there's the basis for my album. What I'll do at the end, if there's any bits that I can still see too much white or anything with, or not enough of the black is showing, I'll just go over them if I really need to, but at the moment I'm incredibly happy with that as an outline. Very pretty. I just love these papers. Totally stunning. Okay, so this is where I now need to think on my feet, I guess, and this bit scares me a little bit because I haven't really planned what to do. So I guess for me it will probably be some embellishments to start, something that can stick out. I also have to hand my distress inks and my distress archivals as well, and I've got paint very near me as well, so if I need anything else I can just pull them out. I'm just looking to see. This is the problem, when you have so much choice to use, you just never know what to go for. I think that little one's probably a bit too small. No, I think I definitely want Alice on the front cover. Although look at him, isn't he cute? Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. Now the big decision is, what colour do I want my snip art? Okay, let's have a look. Let's have a look what colours I've got to hand and what would go well. I'd also like to get some sizing down. I don't think I'm actually going to decorate the back cover, purely because, well, one, it's the back, but two, I just think that's so pretty. I almost don't want to touch anything. I think I might go for, I don't want a red or even a yellow to stand out maybe. I might go for fossilised amber, which is one of my favourite colours. Let's go for what I like, I think. And I'm just going to use very quickly a little brush. Let's see if this works. I've not tried this before, so this is all new. Oh yeah, the colours take into that quite well actually. You could also use distress sprays. You could use any sprays you wish really, or even the amazing Seth Apter Eyes Inks sprays, which I received a few from Susan at Country View Crafts a couple of weeks ago. I ordered them and they are just divine. The colours are so vibrant. I went for blues, I went for a blue, a turquoise and a pearl, and they are just amazing. I actually remembered to use my splat box with them, which was a good job because the colours are that vibrant, and they spray so well. And the idea with them is that they don't clog. And I have to say, after using them, and I tried experimenting with embossing paste and just playing around for a couple of hours really, they really did, there was no sign of clogging or having to shake them too much or any of that, which I've had with other sprays as well. So I was really pleased with that. I'm just trying to be gentle with this frame because the actual frame bit is quite thin, so I don't want it snapping, which would just be typical. Okay, I think that's okay. There's some more on these cards. See that? Yeah, I think that'll be okay. I want to add a bit of green. I might just add just a touch of green as well, just to tie in some of those colours. I'm using peeled paint. I think the other thing I will do is just run over it with some walnut stain. Walnut stain seems to be my go-to for anything to edge around paper or images or whatever I'm doing really. Just, yeah, it's a bit better. It's just a bit more aged, I think. Right, leave it there in fear that I will end up creating mud, which I obviously don't want to do. Right, so this time I've just got my little distress tool. Let's just go around that really quickly. Don't need to think too much about this. I think I'll go around my Alice die cut as well. The wonderful thing about making a little mini book or a mini album is that it really allows you to personalise it to you or to the recipient, or however you want really, but it allows you the freedom, the creative freedom to do what you like. And that's the wonderful thing. So when you buy an album or a kit, normally you're confined to what's in that, whereas with these Sizzix dies, you have the freedom, you can do what you like. I'm just going to give my mat a bit of a wipe over with a towel just to make sure there's no stain from the ink. Yeah, there we go. Just goes to show that a little distress ink goes a long way. Okay. So I think I'll use just a touch of Sisal. I think I might go for some of the green actually. So this comes in 3 different colours. This is from Lisa Horton Crafts. And as I said at the start, a little goes a long way. So I've just taken a little bit out, but I'll probably not even use all of this. You can manipulate it, you can do what you want. I tend to scrunch it in my hands to start with to get it to behave a little bit. Don't know whether that's right or wrong. It's just something I've learned to do. There you go, it's a bit more in control now. And then I can manipulate it myself. There we go. Okay. Now I have to decide where I want it. Maybe just thinking I could potentially break some of this off and put it under Alice as well, and put it in the 2 places. Now with this you can use a hot glue gun to glue the Sisal down. You can use some 3D gel. Again, it's personal preference. I'm using my Cosmic Shimmer still. One, because it saves me having to get loads of different mediums out while I'm filming, but also it does stick. So because I'm using quite small amounts, it will stick absolutely fine. Let me just scrunch it up a bit more. Every now and again you'll find like little knots and little bits in this, and I just think that adds to the character. Okay, I'm happy with that as a base so far. What I'll probably do is then, so I'll glue this. We'll start on the pages, and then we'll come back at the end and add some chunkier embellishments. Or do I want to add some now? I might add a few now just to get them to stick. Probably. Okay. Ooh. I'm just going to pop some glue on here. This isn't going to need much glue because it's very thin, which is great. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Just get that there. I can always cut little bits off if I decide I don't like them. And I wanted Alice there. Actually, I might put Alice on some 3D foam. Excuse me. That always happens. You can be fine all day. The second you start talking on a video, you start getting a little bit of a cough. So this will just lift her up a little bit. You can use 3D glue. You can use whatever you want, but I'm just going to use these because I've got them to hand. What that means is I'll end up finding these little bits all over the craft room for a couple of days, but that's fine. The worst is when I find them in my cat every so often. Thankfully that doesn't happen very often, but Sid likes to come up, and I've removed it for filming, but I normally have a little blanket just under the window for him, and he'll come and sit there, and just, you'll see his tail swish swash across my craft mat. So if anything is still there, there's a tendency he ends up one all over the floor, but two all over his tail as well. Oh, there we go, I think that's better. Pleased I did that. Okay, so let's see what else I want to use. This is where the fun comes into it. I'm going to move these, let's move the inks out of the way. Lovely. Let's get these out. I think I may as well keep these out for a bit as well. Maybe that. Oh no, let's use some of these. I don't know if you can see that, I'm hoping you can. These are pretty. I think by the end of this video you will be fed up of me telling you just how beautiful these papers are, but I'm really not exaggerating. They are beautiful. Beautiful papers, beautiful embellishment packs. Just perfect. Perfect for the projects. Oh, now that would be nice, but I might have a splash of colour instead. I wonder if I've got a red one to match. Let's have a look. I'm bound to. We've given the others. You could probably hear just how thick they are by the noise they make as they hit the craft sheet. Okay, I might use that one. I'm going to cut that little bit of sisal off though, because it's just in my way. But don't worry, if you're like me and you don't like losing things, you can just add those back into the box because they can be used for another project. Just cutting that bit off there. There's a rogue bit of cardboard. Yeah, I think I like that. Little diamond. Yeah, I think that's nice. Again, I'm going to add, I think I'll add a 3D bit into that. I have saved something quite special for my spine, which I'm hoping to use, and we'll come to that a bit later. I'm now going to turn my hand to my little embellishment box and see if there's anything here that takes my fancy. This is what I'm hoping to use for my spine. It's actually some sort of necklace, but I thought I might be able to adjust it or cut it. But how beautiful is that? The actual clock works if you wanted to. I think, like, there we go. So there's a battery inside it. Not that I'll ever use it, obviously. And then a tiny little box that says "Drink Me" as well. It's obviously designed in hand for the Alice collection. I didn't put this together. This is how it came when I bought it, and You know, I'm always on the lookout for Alice embellishments. I'm thinking that on the spine maybe would be a really pretty way to finish this off. But we'll see how the project goes. I'm not going to commit yet, just in case I might get to that stage and think, nope, don't want it. And that's absolutely fine. So let's have a look. Okay. It's a really pretty little, I don't know if you can see it, I'll hold it in my palm. Little clocks, so time for tea style. Yeah, I think I might use a little clock on here as well. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Again, it will stick with Cosmic Shimmer. Some of you may want to use a glue gun. I'm hoping this will stick fine, otherwise I will get my glue gun out. It will take a few minutes to stick. Let's see what I've got here with the stickers as well. If there's anything I want to use here. So much choice. What I do like, I'm just looking as I'm trying to look at the embellishments I've got. I love how this little bit of flower is sticking out, just where Alice is. It's quite pretty. Anyone would think I planned that? If anyone knows me knows I wouldn't have. No, I don't think I'll stick any stickers on there at this point. I will just move those there. No, I think that's it for the minute. So I'm going to leave that there and I'll probably come back to it. Now, I'm not planning on putting anything on the inside covers just yet. I might come back and add possibly an envelope, some little envelopes. Instead, I've got different types here. I've got some very small mini envelopes. I've also got, these are just things I've collected over the years really. Some other envelopes there. And the idea is that you, for me, I'll use this album to, just to collect things I think. And I can even see me adding some of my, my Alice bits and bobs that I collect throughout the year through it. I've got these beautiful glassine albums. Now these, I was very fortunate to be given by Tracy Metcalf from Splattered Inky. Tracy has the most amazing Etsy shop. She dyes all her own zine binding. I mean, look how beautiful that is. The colours are just wonderful, and she just gets the colours right as well. If I tried this, I'd have ended up, I don't know, getting far too much black over it and it would look a bit muddy. But Tracy's done a wonderful job. And she also sent me, I couldn't believe it when I saw them, these are almost little postage stamp stickers, but they're Alice stickers as well, and I almost don't want to use them, but I am going to use some of these for my project. Absolutely beautiful. So I've thanked her a million times already, but again, thank you very much, Tracy. I adore the little pack you sent me. It came with some ribbons, some envelopes, the embellishments, absolutely stunning. But if you like what you're seeing, I'd pop over to the Splattered Inky Etsy shop. Absolutely wonderful. I've bought sari ribbon before, and Tracy's got some wonderful things over there. Okay, so I'm just going to set this aside now, and you can see that little clock's already adhered quite well for me. Ooh, blimey. Okay, so I'm just going to pop this aside, and I'm going to start concentrating on my inserts. And as I said, all I did was take various card. I've also taken some stencil images that I've done, some jelly plate prints. This, I don't know if you can see, these are the new Seth Apter inks I was telling you about, and I've used the turquoise, and I've also added some of the pearl. This was actually the reverse of a stencil, so the bits that were left on the stencil after I've used it. Look how beautiful, look, that's the blue. Really, really, I don't know if you can see the pearl in that, I'm hoping you can. But really, really beautiful. So yeah, I've just taken various cards, as I said, some braid tissue, some normal blank white paper. I've also taken just some papers from a magazine, and these came free. It was actually with part of an Alice in Wonderland set, so I thought this would be quite apt to use, and there's some really cute images with cups and the bottles. Just got some craft papers, again just braid leftover bits. So this is my opportunity to really use the materials I've got around me, so I don't need to, and you can see that one there, and you've got your little Alices and your Queen. You know, you don't need to cut all your Alice papers up and use them all in here. I like a variety. I like things to just not be the same and to be a bit different, etc, etc. And that's where this comes in. So let's see if I can get some of these. Let me put some together first. I don't want all the same in everything. So there's some more of the, these were actually Distress Oxide inks. So when I had my play with Distress Oxide inks, Susan has a whole range at Country View Crafts. She had said to me many times that she's amazed I hadn't got any, and just I know how wonderful they were, and I kept telling her that I wasn't interested and didn't want to know and didn't need another collection, and then I tried them, and oh my, Distress Oxiding sprays are wonderful. If you've not tried them, you really should. I tried really, really hard not to get into it, not to like them. I was not going to like them, not going to use them. And then, hey presto, that changed. And you'll see from, just going back to the papers and just rifling around with, they're different heights and widths and sizes, and I just wanted to do that so that I could use it however I wanted. There's no right, there's no wrong. I could swap the papers over if I decide I don't like them. I could do whatever I want with these, and I think that's great, really. Okay, let's just see if I can get some of these in. I'm not going to overfill the pages just yet. In the book I can add to them, as I said. Want some blank pages as well. It's actually quite nice to have some just plain white pages, because you can ink them, you can decorate them, you can do what you want with them. So they're probably the ones that I will be adding the most to, I think. She says, not knowing what she's doing. Let's have that one as well. I love working on tissue paper. I just think it gives that extra dimension to any project. And I love seeing how the same mediums work on different papers as well. So how all my fresco paints work. What if I use my colouring pencils in here? This is where having no nails doesn't help. I'm doing okay. Let's get this in here. Oh, I'm just thinking that that one is too big. Right, I obviously didn't measure that one right, so let's bring that one out. I can always cut it and add it back into there. So I've created 4 signatures for this. You don't have to. You can create one. You can just have you can have 1, 2, 3 or 4 really. It really doesn't matter. Again, it's up to you. It's up to what you want to use it for. whatever you want. There's no right, there's no wrong. It's about having fun and creating. Just thinking that one, yeah, that one's probably too long. And there's me thinking I'd measured them properly and was really pleased with that. I've obviously done some too long, but that's fine. Let's get some of these coloured ones as well. I'm going to do that one like that. And then for the last one, I'd love to hear how you use your mini albums actually, so do leave me a little comment. Let me know what you think. I said earlier, let me know if you use Stamperia papers and how you use them. And also actually what I'd really like to know is how long it took you before you were brave enough to cut into them. I really did want to. They were so pretty. But actually now I've started cutting into them, I'm really keen to use them and use them for things that I can treasure or give away as gifts for others to treasure. Okay. That's okay. So you can see that's coming along quite nicely actually, just 4 nice signatures as you open that one. I don't think I'll finish the whole album today. I think what I'll do is probably a few pages to show you what sort of thing I do and how I approach it, and then I could always do more off camera, but I am planning on doing a Facebook Live to show my whole finished project, hopefully at some point over the weekend, but we'll see, because you never know what's around the corner really. So I definitely want some little envelopes in here so I can keep some trinkets. I'd also like to create some belly bands. I want to add more embellishments. What I don't want is to add too many chunky embellishments purely because I've only got so much space. What I might also do at a later stage is add a closure to this. So I haven't planned a closure at the moment, but I might. The actual Sizzix die does come, I can show you. You also get these with it, so that could be your closure as well. But I've not used these on this occasion. And again, that's that lovely chipboard that you get in the set. Okay. So this is where, if you're like me, you get nervous. It's the first page. What am I going to do? So I think here I probably want some sort of little belly band or an envelope, or maybe even one of these cute little, I might use those for a bigger page actually, maybe something like that, where I can decorate it with Alice themed stuff. Right, so let's do it. Let's get busy. Just looking to see what I've got. Actually, I might use a couple of these lovely little doilies. I've had these for a while. I don't know where I got them from, but they've been in my stash and I've been slowly going through them. Oh, that might be a good idea. I wonder if I can pull that one off a little bit. Yeah, brilliant. So I'm just going to embellish really. As I said earlier, there's no right or wrong. I'm trying really hard not to overthink this because I have a tendency to do that and then ruin stuff. But I don't want to do that here. Again, I'm using these lovely little thick die cuts from Stamperia that come and are available at Country View Crafts. if you go onto the Country View Craft site, you can actually search by brand, and that's all I do. And you look at Stamperia, and then it brings up all of the Stamperia papers, stamps, mediums. Oh my, if you've not tried the mediums, I'm a little bit in love with the cream paste, which is absolutely divine. Actually, I might actually put a clock on the inside. I quite like that one. Is that the most appropriate one I've got? Oh no, that one, definitely. See, some things will come to me quite easily. Now this is where I get stuck. I've got no nails, and these are stickers, and I was hoping they'd have these sides. So you might have to bear with me while I try to separate this. Get a little pokey tool out. These are little vinyl stickers that I got a while ago. I don't know who makes them, if I'm honest. So please don't ask me what brand they are, because I don't know. But I managed to get a set of them. Nope, that is absolutely not budging in the slightest. I really should try to grow my nails. Don't really want long nails because I think it would irritate me, especially when I'm typing and doing stuff. Right, might come back to that, but I'm going to leave that one there so I know I want it there anyway, in any event. Just trying to see. These embellishments. I've got some really pretty ones here. These Alice ones are really cute. Again, I was really lucky. I think all of my friends know just how much I love Alice in Wonderland, because I'm often getting messages on Facebook and linked it into things that they've seen. So I get things like this, and I'm really, really fortunate, because friends will say to me, oh, I've found these and thought you'd like them, and that's what happened with these charms and some of these trinkets. They're luckily, I'm very lucky that friends have given them to me as gifts, because they've seen them and they've known just how much I'd appreciate them, really. Okay. I'll just leave that page as it is. I'm a little bit annoyed because I can't get that backing off, but I will come back to it. Okay. What I might do is just glue that to the inside there, and then I'll be able to... It's a shame because that's quite beautiful. What I will do though is add some ink. It's too plain for me. Oops, and my sizel's already gone inside. There we go. Just doing this very quickly. So Susan at Country View Crafts is looking to do a lot more videos. I'm sure other members of the design team will get involved as well, but hopefully Susan or Claire will join in, and it would be great to get some more regular things going. So this YouTube channel is new, so Country View Crafts, and it would be lovely to see more and more appearing on there over time. I guess let's just glue this in. It's not going to need much because it's quite thin. Hoping my glue doesn't start sticking while we're recording. There you go. That will just give me the opportunity to add little bits. I wonder if there's something I can pop pop in there now. I have the same issue with these, I think. I don't know. Well, maybe they aren't stickers, I don't know. But I thought they had a sticky backing to them. Who knows? I'll find out afterwards, I think. Let's actually look at some of my papers and see if there's bits I can cut out from them to use. So I'm going to use my 12 by 12, I think. Seeing as I've already been brave enough to cut. Only a couple of pages for my backing. Here we go. So you can see just how beautiful they are. Actually, no, I'm going to go back to the 8x8, so I'm going to use some of those little tags. That's a great idea. Oh, blimey. Just knocked the light, I apologise. Here we go. So these are the tags I'm referring to. I think I might just quickly cut one out. Please don't pay too much attention to my cutting. I've always maintained throughout my entire career that getting my degree and my qualifications afterwards was far easier than me drawing or cutting in a straight line. I'm just using my Tim Holtz paper snips, which are by far my favourite scissors in the whole world. Although I will let you into a little secret. It was only about 3 years ago, and I'd had my bigger ones, my normal Tim Holtz scissors, for years, and I was sat in a workshop with some friends, and we were making, I think we were using some Prima papers that were out at the time, and I actually thought I'd broken them because I didn't realise until about 3 or 4 years ago that these are bendy. I'd used them all that time and I didn't know that the actual scissors were bendy, and that makes me laugh every time I use these. And obviously these are the same, and it's good for, it means people can use them if they've got trouble using their hands, etc. And for me right now, especially with my wrist, that's really good. Yeah, I like that. So I'm just going to ink around the edge. I'll probably come back and do a little bit more to the inside of this, just to make sure it's got some sort of cover. I might do want to fill that in. Let's have a look. Yeah, perfect. That's good. Right, for the next page, I might do some stenciling to start. I quite like that stencil. Thinking maybe some reds, some greens maybe. Okay. I'm not thinking about this at all, I'm just randomly going through. Be interested to see how it's picked up on the craft cards. Actually, I'm going to go in and get some of my red. Now these brushes I've been using for years. These are actually Dreamweaver stencil brushes. I don't even know if you can get them anymore. But these were used. I remember seeing it at a demo at a craft show once. And then my friend Becky Bailey mentioned them, because she had them, and she said they were really good for inking. Oh, look at that. And it went from there really. I've been using them for years, and that was long before Tim Holtz brought out his brushes, and before picket fence brushes were introduced. Now I've bought some picket fence brushes. I managed to pick up a couple at an event a little while ago, but I must admit I've not even tried them. In reality, these are really good, as is the Tim Holtz ones. So I tend to stick to what I like at the minute. Lovely. So that's not much, but that's probably just enough. I might encrose that one as well. I'll create some belly bands as well. I'm not going to do every single page, I think I've already said that. Some pages I will just literally leave and I'll decorate them as I want them. Some pages will be fully decorated and then not used for anything else. And then some that shall do, and I think I will add a few more bits to this. Clean my stencil later. I'll move that away from me because it will irritate me that it's unclean and stress me out a little. I think I will create a little belly band for that. I did keep some offcuts, just very offcut strips from when I was cutting my papers, but to be fair, they are probably too thin for what I want right now. So I'm just going to, let's have a look. Oh, that one might be quite nice actually. So we just cut that bit off. It's just a strip of paper. I'm not doing this very scientifically at all. I've just looked to see where I need to cut. Hopefully, there we go. Won't be throwing that bit away. If you're like me, every little bit when it comes to such beautiful papers gets kept, as they are, because you never know when you're going to need them, what you use them for. You just never know. Lovely. So I'm just going to glue, pop a little bit of glue at both ends. No, we're starting to get stuck. We'll just pat that out. That's a bit too much. There we go. I don't know if you can hear the rain outside. It's been really bad weather and we've been having really bad storms for the last 3 weekends in the UK, which is not great, but it's raining quite heavily and I can hear it hitting my window and I can hear the cars going through puddles, so I'm not sure if you can hear that, and if you can, I apologise, but you just can't solve anything. I think the last time I made a video, the chickens in the house next door started making loads of noise just at the time I started filming. Just that's a bit of glue there. There we go. I might add a journaling card. Where's that paper? I'll use my bigger scissors for this bit. Just going to cut one of these, this little card here. If you really wanted, you could back these onto some thicker card. I don't think there's any need personally, I'm quite happy with the thickness of this, but there are options there if you want to, plus you'd lose the beautiful back of the image. It suddenly dawned on me as I'm talking that for some reason I hold my breath when I'm cutting. I do the same when I'm going down when I'm driving down a really tight spot as well, which I've always laughed at. It's almost like I have to breathe in or hold my breath, and not that it's going to make any difference to the area that I'm driving in, but I'm sure you all do funny things like that too. There you go. I'll do the other side as well. Just wondering if I've got any sentiments that I can use. I'm just having a look. Yes, I have. Brilliant. So this was the free pack I had in the magazine I bought. Came with stamps, came with papers. Don't need birthday wishes, but I'm sure I've just seen something that refers to Alice. I've got some curiouser bits. Or maybe it was that. How cute are they? I think most of these will actually go to my little niece whose name is Alice, which is absolutely adorable, and she's as cheeky as this Alice as well. So let's have a little look. I've not used these yet, so this will be a new one. Just going to stamp Curiouser and Curiouser, I think. Grab a stamping block. My table right now just looks absolutely crazy. I've got materials everywhere. I find that a little bit stressful actually, but I will tidy up once I'm done. Do you tidy up when you've been crafting? Do you tidy straight away? And ever since I had my new room built last year, I've made a really hard effort to do that, and the only time I tend not to is if something's having to dry, and then I tend to tidy it away as soon as I can afterwards. So the next day or as soon as it's dry. There we go. Actually, I might just scuff that up a little bit as well. I'm not entirely happy with that because it's too flat. There we go. Get my distressing tool out. Means I'll have to ink around the edges again, but so be it. That's fine. It makes me a bit happier. It's too nice, just straight. A bit better. Don't ask me why, I'm just a bit happier with that now. Now I've scuffed the edges up a little bit, made it look a bit less perfect. That's absolutely fine. I'm just going to add that there. What would be nice, I might have to add it at a later stage, it would be really nice to have something behind it as well, maybe maybe some tags. I'll have a look later, I'm not going to worry about that now. Fabulous. That's a couple of my pages on the go. My little clock that I have been able to stick down yet, which will irritate me till I've done it. Let me see where I need to put some on this. Let's have a look. Ah, there are some little phrases in here actually. Oh, how about some of these? Might come back to that one. I've thought of what the most appropriate thing is. I'll decorate there as well, I'm not happy about that yet. Okay. See, let's choose another page and then I'll probably stop at that point. Well, how about this one? Might make a little pocket. Yeah, let's make a little pocket for this one, I think. I think I had some papers that were the same. Did I have any left over? Let's have a look. Oops. Oh, maybe not. Another one of those, right? I might take that one out and replace it with another, just so I can have a pocket that's the same as what I've already used. I think I might then just, may as well cut this one to size, the one here. My trimmer out again. Actually, that bit I've just cut will be brilliant for belly band on one of my pages. Where was that page? There we go. So let's cut it a little bit more. One in before I forget. Can't remember which one I got it from now. I think it was stick it in here anyway, whether it was or not. Ah, it fits now. Right, going back to this one then. So I can also make some little pockets like this. And all I'm going to do is as simple as just a little fold there. Let's get some ink around the edges. I'll glue that little flap down as well. pointy bit first. Now obviously we're not going to glue those two edges, so it's only the other two edges that we're gluing. There we go. And that's just created another little pocket, obviously once it's dried, another little pocket to put our trinkets in. And we might use a little bit of ribbon here, I think. I've got to find. Maybe just a tiny bit of this, I think. Sometimes it doesn't need much, it just needs just a little something. I'm sure some of you will be watching this thinking, no, don't put it there. And you're probably right, but as I said, I try really hard not to think too much about it. Otherwise I'll be here for most of the day just trying to position and decide where the best place is and all of that. I don't want to spend my time doing that, and certainly don't want to spend your time doing that and watching me play around. I might use this really cute spoon here as well, just to go with the Eat Me. It's really cute. I'll just show you. There's some beautiful details. The back is quite plain. Some really beautiful detail on that. It actually looks like it's embossed as well. Yeah, I think I'll use that one. There we go. Let's decorate one of the plain pages for the last page, I think. So we've done that. Let's do a plain page. Let's see what I can do with that, and I'll probably still come back and add more embellishments with that. So I think I will use some of the lovely Stamperia paper for this one. Move those out of the way. Oh my goodness, it looks like a bomb has hit my room. I might come back and use that bit because it's really beautiful. I love the way it just says Alice in Wonderland with the torn text. It's really hard to know what to use sometimes. Some of these are beautiful. I'm sure if I could hear you through video, you'd be shouting, use that one, because I know that's what I always think. It's like, no, stop, use that one. Which I might use this one. It's pretty. Yeah, let's go for it. Oh. Well, properly cut it into my Stamperia pads tonight. There we go. Trusty trimmer out again. Well, I've just noticed the back of this one as well. That's beautiful. Let's see what size I need. It was this one I said we were going to do. So this is roughly 4 by, yeah, okay. Ooh, which side do I want? See if that fits. Just need to try a tiny bit of it. There we go. See what that's like. I'm hoping you're all still with me and that you haven't fallen asleep yet just yet. Yeah, perfect. Add some glue and get that stuck in, and we can start decorating that page. And this will be the final page that I show you, I think. We'll do a bit more to the cover and then leave it there. Oh, almost put it on upside down then. How many times have you done that? Make sure it's stuck down properly. There we go. Okay. Now I've got some, I might use some lace for this one because it's really pretty. Look at that. So yeah, I think I'll use a little bit of lace. I won't glue it down yet. I'm going to decide what I want and how I want it. That could work. It's whether or not I want my lace as a belly band or... That's pretty. All these beautiful teapots. Oh no, it needs to be a teapot, I think. These delicate teacups, look at those images. How pretty. Okay, let's do this. I'm just going to add, I don't know whether it'll stick, I think it does. I haven't used Cosmic Shimmer on fabric for a long time. So pretty. And then what did I do with that teapot? Is it this one? I can't remember. If it wasn't, it is now. I'm just going to add just a tiny bit of the glue to the back of that teapot because I don't want it to fully stick. That will, once it's dry, that will create another little aperture aperture really to put tabs in. Aperture is not the right word, sorry, I've had a bit of a mind blank there. What else can I use? I've also got some lovely little pegs and little clips. These would be great just to add little bits to it. It's my little journal. I'll decide those as I go. This one's quite pretty as well. All I've done here, I've got some Tim Holtz clip. They added a little tassel, just a bit of wire as well. So let's go in and let's put that on that side. Would help if you could see it. To a quarter. There we go. I think I've come to the conclusion that these don't peel, but I thought they did. So I think I might glue it down anyway. Let's have a look. Ooh, blimey. I'm hoping they stick. It's quite a shiny background, which is why I thought they were stickers. I think. Oops, sorry, my glue lid just fell. What I might do, I won't do it, and I certainly won't show it on camera. But I think it might be quite nice to put a little picture of my niece on this one, just among the little Alices. Funny enough, my little niece, so she's 3 and she loves tea as well, so I think that's probably quite apt. She's such a sweetheart. I might just go over that with some ink actually. I'm not too keen on how... No, I'm going to leave it because I'm going to decorate there afterwards. Yeah, I'm quite pleased with that page. That's simple but pretty. I'm just using those beautiful, beautiful images. That one, it's a nice little button shaped. I haven't used any of my beginning images yet. May not use this one for this project. That's beautiful. Sorry, I could sit here and look at these all day. I can't believe I was patient enough not to open them prior to this this session. But I was good and I didn't, and yeah, they're beautiful now. Oh, look how pretty that teapot is. It says a mad tea party on it as well. The detail on some of these is extraordinary. Such good quality products. We've got a... Ooh, let me think. What do I want? A little Cheshire cat, or I might go for... I think I might just glue this one to the top corner. I'll take for a couple of seconds. There we go. And I'm sure I just had another little thought. might just cut some of this actually and use that on that one. I know I said that I wasn't going to do any more pages, but as I'm thinking, it really has got me thinking. Again, just quite what I'm trying to do is show you just a few ideas to create little pockets really for your projects, and as I said, the idea will be to hold little trinkets in it, etc., which will be quite nice. Right. The actual Alice die cuts I can easily see used in so many different projects, so you know, using them for mini books as I am. I could see them used on scrapbooking, journaling, card making, loads of mixed media projects. Really, really versatile, and all it needs really is a love of Alice in Wonderland, and if you've got that like me, it's a win-win. So I've cut a little strip. This time I'm just going to glue around 3 of the edges. Just going back to this one, and I'm just going to put that down like that. And that will now, once it's dry, that will create another little opening there, which, where was that tag I just found? Ah, it was in front of me somewhere. It's always the way, isn't it? You're looking for, ah, there it is. Such a pretty little tag. Pokey tools poke the hole out. Actually, no, I think I might use. Oh no, decisions, decisions. No, I think I will use this one. Stick to my original idea. I just use just a tiny bit of twine with that one, so you've got something to pull it with. Okay. And then that's kind of in there. And obviously you can make this is just an example for you today, so you can see how versatile the products are, but you can make your tags whatever size you want. You can certainly make them bigger if you wanted. I think I might just use one of these really cute little stickers. Which one? Decisions, I'm going to use this one. Aren't these lovely though? I've never seen anything like this, so to have them is simply beautiful. Okay. Actually, before I do that, let me put that down there. I want to collage it up on something, I think. Use another one of my little doilies, that would work. I'd cut a bit in half. going to put a bit of sisal there as well actually, but I might use a little bit of the natural coloured one. So again, it's quite unruly, so let me try to tame it a little. That. As you can see, a little really does go a long way with here. Perfect. Just literally going to add a dollop of glue. That's better. Just gives it a little bit more to look at, so I'll stick down properly shortly. And then I quite like this, so I might add this to the... I'm still frustrated because I still think these should probably be stickers, but I've obviously got that wrong because there's nothing I can see that links to removing a backing, even with my non-existent nails. Get quite look at that there. And the tagging right there. So yeah, I think that's probably enough pages to give you an idea. That one keeps falling out. I think that one's my favourite so far. And then we went on a little bit. Lovely, that's certainly coming along. Certainly a work in progress as well. So the last thing I wanted to do is try to do a bit more to the front. You can see if I can incorporate this. I don't plan to use it as a necklace. But it's whether or not I can find a way. I think that would be quite pretty. Let's see if I can get that glued down. So all I've done is wrapped it on the inside there. I don't know if you can see that properly. Actually, I wonder if the best way to do this is a clip on that hold. So I'm rummaging my little... yeah, I like that. And brilliant, that's meant, that's really useful actually. The clip I've used holds it, and that means I've not had to glue it in. So if I do change my mind, all I simply do is take the clip off and then I can reuse it as I like. So there we have it for now, I think. I will continue playing around, decorating more pages, adding more pockets to my pages, more tags, and use some more of these wonderful Alice in Wonderland die cuts from Stamperia, which are just wonderful to use. Well, you can see because I've been using them throughout, and there's just so many different types on the same theme, and just beautiful, and different sizes as well, which is really useful when you're not sure what you're going to use and how. So there we have it. So this is a video for Country View Craft, so www.countryviewcrafts.co.uk. We have a monthly challenge over on the challenge blog. So there's a shop blog and a challenge blog, and each month there is a challenge chosen by a member of the design team, and you have the opportunity not only to see the wonderful inspiration from the team, but to join in and create a project on that same theme. And then at the end of the month, anyone that's created a project and has linked it to the challenge blog, and there's a link on there that you can attach to, that person gets put in a draw, and then once the month has ended, Susan does a random draw, and whoever comes out of the hat wins a gift voucher to spend in the shop, which is absolutely brilliant. It's definitely worth entering for sure. So thank you for joining me today. Do make sure you pop over to countryviewcrafts.co.uk and have a look at the wonderful Stamperia products, as well as all of the other amazing products that you can think of for your card making, your mixed media, your paper crafts treats. And Susan's now ventured into some home decorating materials. There's some beautiful chalk paints available at the moment as well. So thank you for joining me in my mixed media album, my Alice in Wonderland album. I will complete the project fully and probably do a Facebook Live to show the end result. Thank you for joining me. Happy crafting!